إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد. So yesterday we passed by Allah's statement when he said that Maryam said, actually the mother of Maryam, Hannah, said, وَإِنِّي وَعِيذُهَا بِكَ وَذُرِّيَّتَهَا مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. So before the mother of Maryam gave birth to her, she asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect her, that means to protect Maryam and her children from shaitan. The Prophet ﷺ said that every newborn baby, as soon as he is born, shaitan pokes him. The shaitan hates the son of Adam, and his goal in this existence is to take as many of the son of Adam as he can with him to hellfire. This is the role of shaitan and his followers, right? So the Prophet ﷺ said that every newborn baby, shaitan pokes him, and that's the reason why he cries. This is the insane reason why he cries. There are some physical reasons, as people say, he starts breathing air, etc. But the actual spiritual reason why he cries is because shaitan pokes him. Except Maryam and her son, Isa alayhi salam, because of the dua of her mother, Hannah, shaitan was not able to poke them. Okay, so this is a statement that I wanted to say that we left off from yesterday's explanation. Then we said that Zakaria, he was the one who took charge of Maryam. Okay, it is narrated here. Ibn Jarir narrated that Ikrimah said that Maryam's mother, who is Hannah, left with Maryam after giving birth to her, carrying her in her infant cloth. So she was still a baby, wrapped in an infant cloth. So her mother Hannah took her to Bayt al-Maqdis, okay, because at the time it was the descendants from Harun alayhi salam, the brother of Musa, who were taking care of Bayt al-Maqdis. The same way that the Kaaba, until today, there are people who are in charge of the Kaaba. They actually have the key to the Kaaba. The Prophet ﷺ is the one that gave it to them, and it's their children that are taking care of the Kaaba until today. These are, I don't remember the name of the tribe, but they were taking care of the Kaaba before Islam. So when the Prophet ﷺ conquered Mecca, he left them with that honor, because the Prophet ﷺ, as you know, he never wanted to break the heart of anyone. And these people, they used to have a very high status of taking care of Kaaba. Of course, after Islam, they should not lose such an honor. So the Prophet ﷺ, he kept that honor with them until today. So similarly, Bayt al-Maqdis was the place of worship at the time, and the descendants of Harun are the ones that were taking care of it. So the mother of Maryam took this child to them, and she said, take this child whom I have vowed to serve the masjid. I have set her free, since she is my daughter. For no menstruating woman shall enter the masjid. Because for the Jews, once the woman reached the age of puberty, she's not allowed to enter the masjid. Okay, we stated this before. Not like the Muslim women, alhamdulillah, they are able to go and pray in the masjid. And even if they have, during the time of period, they can enter the masjid, except that they should not be in front of the people that are praying. Okay, but for them, their rule is that every woman that reaches the age of puberty is not allowed to enter the masjid. And then she said, and I shall not take her back. So the people that were taking care of the Bayt al-Maqdis, they said, she is the daughter of our Imam, Imran. As we said, the father of Maryam is Imran. So they said that this is the daughter of our Imam, Imran, because Imran used to lead them in prayer. And they said also Imran was the one that used to take care of our spiritual rituals. But Zakaria said, give her to me, because her maternal aunt is my wife. We said the sister of Hannah was the wife of Zakaria alayhi salam. So he told them, give her to me, let me raise her. Okay, so what they said is, they said, our hearts cannot bear that you take her, because she is the daughter of our Imam. So basically they started arguing who's going to take care of Maryam, because this is an honor to raise someone who is dedicated to the service of Bayt al-Maqdis. So they conducted a lottery with the pens. أقلامهم إذ يلقون أقلامهم. It's the pens. Yeah, the pens that they used to write the Torah with. So what they did, they threw it in the Jordan River. The Jordan River that we know today. And then they said, whichever pen, so basically they let Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decide between them. The pen that is going to stay afloat, whomever it belongs to, is the person who's going to take charge of Maryam. So everybody else's pens went down in the river except the pen of Zakaria alayhi salam. So this is how he took care of Maryam. Right. So this was that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَيُّهُمْ يَكْفُرُ مَرْيَمْ وَمَا كُنْتَ لَدَيْهِمْ إِذْ يَخْتَصِمُونَ. So of course they were arguing, each one they wanted this honor, but this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala judged between them. So we said that Zakaria, when he took charge of Maryam, every time he would enter her place of worship, he would find some sustenance. The scholars said that he would find the fruits of the summer in winter, and vice versa. So he would ask her, where did you get this? So she says, it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He gives sustenance and providence to whomever he wants. هُنَالِكَ دَعَ زَكَرِيَا رَبَّهُ. That means at that time, Zakaria alayhi salam made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, oh Allah, give me a progeny. Assalamu alaikum. Rabbi habli min ladunka dhurriya tayyiba. Oh Allah, give me a good progeny from you. In Surah Maryam, as we will see later inshallah, once we get there, Zakaria said, Rabbi la tadarni fardan wa anta khairul warithin. Oh Allah, don't leave me alone, and you are the best of inheritors. In other words, he wanted a son to inherit his knowledge, to inherit basically, the prophets don't care about money, they care about the knowledge, right? So he wanted someone from his own lineage to inherit this goodness that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him. And of course, Zakaria at the time when he made this dua, he was very old, and all his hair was gray, and his wife was an old woman. So of course, if we judge by today's material world, we're gonna say it's impossible. Any doctor would tell them it's impossible for you to have children. And Zakaria alayhi salam is not the only one. It also happened to which prophet? Ibrahim alayhi salam. It is narrated that Ibrahim alayhi salam was more than 100 years old when Allah gave him Ismail. That's why in Surah Ibrahim, Ibrahim alayhi salam said, Alhamdulillah alladhi wahaba li ala al-kibar Ismail wa Ishaq. Alhamdulillah that has given me in my old age Ismail and Ishaq. So a person should never despair from Allah. If a person is sick, if a person has a certain material need, he should just keep making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in his wisdom will decide whether to make this dua complete or not. So while he was praying, the angels called Zakaria alayhi salam, and they told him that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving you the glad tidings of Yahya. لَمْ نَجْعَلْ لَهُ مِنْ قَبْلُ سَمِيًّا. This is the first time in the world that somebody is going to be called Yahya. John. This is the first time. Nobody was called John before him. Yahya means he is ever living. He is ever living, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to give him faith, he's going to give him prophethood, he's going to give him knowledge, so he's going to be full of life. Because what is the difference between al-hayat and ma'isha? Al-hayat, as Allah says in the Quran, it refers to the spiritual life. And ma'isha refers to the physical life, which is common between human beings and animals. This is ma'isha. Aish, I am living. That means eating, sleeping, and procreating. But hayat is a person who has faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أَوْ مَنْ كَانَ مَيْتًا فَأَحْيَيْنَاهُ وَجَعَلْنَا لَهُ نُورًا. Did you see to the one who was dead, and we gave life to him, and we gave him light, that he walks with it among mankind. This doesn't mean he was dead physically, he was dead in his heart. He had no faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the true life is the life of the hearts. Proof is after we die, what happens? This body is gone. Our soul, is it gone? No, it's not gone. Which phone next to this? Is it your phone? So So this soul will continue living. The body is going to go to earth, is going to be disintegrated except the small tailbone, right? And after the resurrection, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to regenerate this body. After the Qiyamah, when people enter Jannah, we ask Allah to be among them, or people enter the hellfire, it's not going to be in this body. Okay, so this body is just temporary, right? So the true life is the life of the hearts. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through the angels, revealed to Yahya alayhi salam, they spoke to him, they said, Allah is going to give you the glad tidings of a son whose name is Yahya. مُصَدِّقًا بِكَلِمَةٍ مِنَ Allah. This is another reason why Allah gave Yahya alayhi salam as a son to Zakaria alayhi salam, so that he can believe in Isa alayhi salam. مُصَدِّقًا بِكَلِمَةٍ مِنَ Allah. Whose kalimatullah is Isa? What does kalimatullah mean? Kalimatullah means it's the word of Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Isa, be, and he became. Allah told Isa alayhi salam, be, and he became. Now, in the Christian Bibles, it tells you that God covered Maryam. So they give you an insinuation of an actual physical thing happening. Okay, but this is not true. We know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Jibreel alayhi salam, who blew in the opening of, without touching obviously, just Jibreel alayhi salam blew into the opening of the clothing of Maryam alayhi salam. She became pregnant. That's why later on we will see when the angels tell her that Allah is going to give you a glad tidings of a word. She's like, how am I going to have a word and I'm not married and I'm not a person who commits zina? So it's impossible for me to be pregnant, right? Because these are the natural ways for a woman to be pregnant. So here Yahya alayhi salam was given as glad tidings to Zakaria alayhi salam, and also another purpose is for him to believe in Isa alayhi salam after he was going to be born and he was going to be a prophet. As we said, they were cousins, right? They were cousins for mothers. So Yahya alayhi salam's mother is the aunt of Isa alayhi salam. Okay? And they were born about the same time. So Yahya alayhi salam is going to believe in Isa alayhi salam. وَسَيِّدًا. Sayyidan means he is a wise man. Okay, as Ibn Abbas said, he is a wise man. And also it is said, according to Sa'id bin Musayyib, that Sayyidan means that he is a scholar. He is a scholar and a faqih. وَحَصُورًا. Hasuran means that means he refrains from sexual relationship with women. This does not mean that he's not able to be with women, but he refrains from that, and he does not commit illegal sexual relationships. Okay, so hasuran means that he does not, because even Yahya alayhi salam died before getting married, and he is a prophet from the good doers. So obviously Zakaria alayhi salam said, "Oh Allah, how can I have a son when I have become so old and my wife is barren? She cannot give birth to children." So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قال كذلك يفعل الله ما يشاء. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does whatever He wants. Now, in contrast to this, in the next page when we're going to see when Maryam asks Allah the same question, Allah does not say Allah does what He wants. He says Allah creates what He wants, so that some people don't misinterpret this as Allah having actual physical contact with Maryam. So this is a clear distinction. Here with Zakaria he says كَذَلِكَ اللَّهُ يَفْعَلُ. He does whatever He wants. With Maryam he says كَذَلِكَ اللَّهُ يَخْلُقُ مَا يَشَاءُ. So that there is no doubt, unlike what the Christians say, that there was an actual covering, etc., etc. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here is saying it very clear. That's how Allah creates what He wants when it comes to Maryam. Right? So that shaitan does not put that whisper. For Yahya he says كَذَلِكَ يَفْعَلُ اللَّهُ مَا يَشَاءُ. Allah does what He wants, which means it creates what He wants, but just Allah is more succinct and more clear in the case of Maryam, so that some of the Muslims don't say the same thing the Christians did. Because don't forget, all these bad things that we say about the Jews and the Christians did before, the Muslims today, they are doing them, right? Because this is what the Prophet ﷺ said. He said that we will follow the footsteps of the ones before us. Shibran bi shibr wa dira' bi dira', a handspan by a handspan. Even if they enter the hole of a lizard, then we will follow them. The scholar said, why did the Prophet ﷺ said the hole of a lizard? He said because the hole of a lizard stinks. It smells very bad. And if they enter it, even we will enter it, even if it smells bad. That means that we will follow them even in evil things. And even in another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, he said, even if there is among them a person who basically sleeps with his mother in the middle of the road, there's going to be from this ummah who does the same thing. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. So this is a warning for us. So we are not mentioning the mistakes of the other nations to say that they are bad. No, just to show how shaitan worked with them, and so that we don't follow in their footsteps. Otherwise, whatever befell them from Allah's anger will befall us as well. So this is the reason why we always say that they did this, they did that. So that when we see some of the Muslims doing that, we say, you see, these people are following the footsteps of those people. So they will have the same bad ending as those people. As we saw many Muslims today, they do it. They kill scholars. Scholars, who are they? They are the inheritors of the prophets. That means if Allah were to send prophets today, they would have killed them. Also, the people that disbelieved in Muhammad ﷺ when he was sent, in today's age, if the Prophet ﷺ were to be sent, you know who's going to believe in him, who's not going to believe in him? The people who are following his sunnah, we're going to believe in him. The people who are not following his sunnah, we're going to disbelieve in him. Because he is alive in his sunnah, the Prophet ﷺ. So when somebody rejects the sunnah, that means he rejects the prophethood of Muhammad ﷺ. So, you know, these are lessons that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, so that we can take a lesson from it and don't fall in the same mistakes, so that we can learn how shaitan have misled the people before us, and we don't fall in the same mistake. So basically Zakaria was wondering, he's like, oh Allah, you know, how is it possible for me to have children? I'm very old, my wife cannot give birth to children. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, that's what Allah does. And in Surah Maryam, Allah tells Zakaria, that's how you were before, you were nothing and I created you. So why is it so difficult for me to create Yahya? Why is it so difficult for me to create Isa? As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, no, the ayah, Isa is nothing like Adam. He created Adam from turab, so he told him be, and he became a human being, right? And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, kalimatun min Allah. He's a word from Allah. This does not mean that he is part physically of Allah. No, the scholar said this is idafat tashrif. Allah is saying something that belongs to him. Kalimatullah, naqatullah, ruhullah. This is to honor this creature. So the camel, the she camel of Thamud, Allah called her naqatullah. That means it is, you know, it is an honorable camel, because Allah gave her as a miracle to the people of Thamud. So this does not mean that he is the son of Allah or he is part of Allah, because these are the words that some of the deviant sects try to bring to try to say, oh, see, even in Islam we have that Isa alayhi salam came from Allah, that he is part of the soul of Allah. This, you know, we've heard these kind of wrong explanations. No, this is idafat tashrif. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says kalimatullah or ruhullah, this is only to honor Isa alayhi salam. So Zakaria alayhi salam told Allah to give him a sign, قال ربي اجعل لي آيات, so that I can know that my wife is about to get pregnant. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, your ayah, your miracle is that you're not going to be able to speak to people for 3 days except by gestures. Except by gestures, not by words. So when you want to speak, you're not going to be able to speak, even if you have no problem speaking. But during those 3 days, you're not going to be able to speak to people. وَاذْكُرْ رَبَّكَ كَثِيرًا. And then at the same time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving him the command to remember him a lot. So dhikrullah is very important in many places in the Quran. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about dhikr, he says, do dhikr a lot. Because as the Prophet said, he said dhikr for a Muslim is like is a protection from shaitan. It's like a person who is running away from his enemy, and then he enters a fort. You know, a fort, you know, with the big walls and everything. What's this fort? This fort is the dhikr of Allah. Who's the enemy? It's shaitan. So you want to be protected from shaitan. Like having a fort around you is a dhikr. A lot of dhikr. There's many good dhikr. There's some dhikr that is good. Dhikr that Allah loves. There's some dhikr for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to basically protect you from harm. There's dhikr for you to have problems solved, like salat al nabi alayhi salam. So there's a lot of dhikr. And then after that, the angels. So after the angels given glad tidings to Zakaria, next they gave glad tidings to Maryam. and they told her, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen you, because Maryam used to worship Allah in sincerity. She used to worship and really from her heart, not just to show off. So Allah has chosen her, and He has purified her, and He has put her higher than the women of the world at her time. Okay, so she was better than the rest of the women of the world at her time. Because as the Prophet ﷺ said, he said, خَيْرُ نِسَائِهَا مَرْيَمُ بِنْتُ عِمْرَانَ مَرْيَمُ بِنْتُ عِمْرَانَ وَخَيْرُ نِسَائِهَا خَدِيجَةُ بِنْتُ خُوَيْلِدٍ. The Prophet ﷺ said, the best woman in her time was Maryam, daughter of Imran. And the best woman of the Prophet's time is Khadija, his wife, radiallahu anha, bintu Khuwaylid. Then the Prophet ﷺ also said in another hadith, كَمُلَ مِنَ الرِّجَالِ كَثِيرٌ وَلَمْ يَكْمُلْ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ إِلَّا مَرْيَمُ بِنْتُ عِمْرَانَ وَآسِيَةُ إِمْرَأَةُ فِرْعَوْنَ. So the Prophet ﷺ said, many men have achieved perfection. Many men have achieved perfection in their sincerity, in their love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in their true worship. So many men achieved perfection, but among women, only Maryam, the daughter of Imran, and Asiya, the wife of Fir'aun, achieved perfection. Okay, so this is a hadith that says that these two women have a very high status with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the angels told Maryam, uqnuti li rabbik, that means worship Allah in true sincerity, wasjudi warka'i, and then make sujood, make ruku'. A person asked me in Morocco, he's like, well, why did Allah say make sujood before making ruku'? Some people, they just pick these things and try to bring doubt in the Quran. Allah is telling Maryam to make sujood, to make ruku'. Is He telling her how to pray? Is He telling her make sujood first before making ruku'? No, this is a commandment. So I can tell her, bring me oranges, bring me oranges and apples and bananas. Or I can tell her, bring me bananas and apples and oranges. Basically, you need to bring me these things. So I'm not telling her, bring me bananas first, and then bring me oranges second, and then... So this is not an order of salat. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling her, make sujood, make ruku', make dhikr. But, you know, subhanAllah, some people, they pick on these small things and try to bring doubt in the Quran. So make sujood, make ruku', make salat, make dhikr. This does not mean that it has to be in this order. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala turns to Muhammad ﷺ and tells him, ذَلِكَ مِنْ أَنْبَاءِ الْغَيْبِ نُوحِي إِلَيْكَ. These are things that we are telling you about Zakaria and Maryam and Isa. These are matters of the unseen. Muhammad ﷺ was not at that time. He did not witness these things for him to tell people. And he told them, you were not there when they were throwing their pens so that they can see which one of them takes charge of Maryam, and you were not with them when they were arguing about the matter. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling Muhammad ﷺ, but in reality He's telling the people around him, especially the people of the book, because these are stories that are proof that Muhammad ﷺ was sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because the people of the book had some of these stories, some of these matters, and they would come Muhammad ﷺ, they would challenge him. What happened to such and such? What happened to Dhul Qarnayn? What happened to this? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would reveal Quran to refute or to prove that he is a prophet. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells Muhammad ﷺ that you were not there when all this happened, but this is the matter of the unseen that we show you. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to teach us the beneficial knowledge. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us a good ending. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us and our families. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us not follow the footsteps of the nations before us, so that Allah's anger does not befall us. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us steady on the path of Muhammad alayhi salatu salam and his companions. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be pleased with us. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to gather us with Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu salam fi jannat al-firdaus al-ulya, wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Subhanakallah wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.